Hello everybody, welcome back. As promised, today I am going to walk you through using the map function, and we'll do some formatting with the map function. So go ahead and open up your DSBB pandas notebook if you've been following along. If you haven't gotten to this point, you should still be able to get a feel for the map function, so no worries, but do encourage you to go back. If you have this open, just run everything. So cell, run all. Shouldn't get any errors if you've been following along. If you do, don't worry, all you need to have is cells 1, 2, and 3 loaded to this point. So let's go ahead and make a new cell right after our LEDF display, and we'll do a comment, use map function. So the map function allows you to substitute values, kind of like the replace function did, but if you don't specify which value you want to replace, it will replace everything else with nulls. So in other words, if I specify, oh, I want to change Japan to Tokyo, it really should have been the city, not the country. So I changed Japan to Tokyo, but if I do it on the entire data frame, then everything else, Russia, United States, all the other countries will just go to NAN. So you're probably wondering why not just use the replace function then and replace the values that we want and keep everything else the same. And we'll get to that point. The answer is really because of formatting. So the map function will allow you to just take all of your numbers and format everything. So that's the ultimate use case. But just to start out by showing you what the map function does, we can take our LEDF and it needs a series, so we'll give it entity and we'll do map and we'll do exactly what I just said. We'll change Japan to, we'll change it to Tokyo. And if you do control enter, you can see that everything else goes to NAN, and 0 through 4, which we know just from displaying it up here is Japan, is now changed to Tokyo. So I said it needs a series just being, you know, some kind of like one column or a list or something like that. So if you just give it entity, it's just looking at this column, and then it can, almost like a for loop, just loop through the whole column. And it takes this dictionary as its argument. The map function takes dictionary as an argument, and what it does is it just looks for the key and replaces it with the value. So that's what's going on there. And if we wanted to add more items, we can do Russia. We could just do commas inside of the same dictionary, you know, Russia to Moscow. Let's just say if we accidentally popped countries in entity, but we should have done cities, right? We can, in theory, replace every one of our incorrect country values with a correct city value. I could just do control enter again, and now you see Moscow, where you would see some Russia values. So 3248 is changed to Moscow, 3252 is India, that goes to NAN along with the rest of them, which is actually kind of nice, because if you want to make sure you catch everything, you can then just check for NANs or fill NANs with something else. So it's a good check at the end if you are trying to replace everything. And now the real meat of this, the real use case for map that I wanted to illustrate, formatting. So use map function to format. I'll just change this comment up here to change entities. It's important to note that I didn't actually change anything in this LEDF, right? If I come back up here and run this and display it again, you're still going to see Japan and Russia. I didn't save over it, right? I'm just displaying. If I wanted to save over it, I could do LEDF equals, right? Or use an in place equals true argument at the end of a function, but in this case, not relevant. So LEDF is the complete same right now. What I do want to do though is access the life expectancy, right? Check the column names, life expectancy right there. Expectancy, and I want to do this map function, but now I want to format all the numbers. So you can see that it's 2 decimal places right now. So let's go ahead and make it a whole number. So I'll post a link to some kind of formatting guide, but just try to follow along for right now. So when formatting, it's the first function or the first argument of our map function rather. And we always start this out with quotes and then open and close curly brackets, so a dictionary. So inside of the quotes, inside of the dictionary, we're telling this how we want to format it. And for a whole number, I believe it goes colon, which really just means everything, and then .0f. Almost always ends in an F. I believe it's 0.2f for 2 decimals, 0.1 for 1 decimal. If you want a dollar sign, you can put it in the beginning, but we're not working with dollars here. So this is what we need, and then you just chain this format, .format at the end of it, which does not require this open close parentheses. So leave those out, just the one parenthesis to close the map function. This is just the way it works as an argument inside of the map function. So let's do Control Enter to display this, and yep, 0.0f is whole numbers, right? It rounds it to the nearest whole number. If we do 0.1f, let's try that, Control Enter, it does to 1 decimal. So I'll leave this to 1 decimal, to format to 1 decimal point, and then we can save over this if we want. LEDF equals and display head, so LEDF dot head, and there we go. So now we have our 1 decimal. One thing we did just do though is make it only life expectancy, so let's fix that. Easiest thing to do in this case is to just go back up, read the data back in, display it again. Okay, now it's back to normal. We can comment this out, but it won't matter again since we're not saving over it. And instead of LEDF, let's just change the life expectancy column. And that should do it. Control Enter. And now we can see that we have our, and we could do like head 30 to see more of the data. Oop, we've already run this, so comment that out. Now do LEDF head 30. Okay, so now we see 0 through 30 all the way down to Switzerland, and looks like we have all of our normal data. And our life expectancy now is just 1 decimal point, so we successfully used the map function to format every single number in this life expectancy column. So I hope you liked this video. Stay tuned for the next one where we jump back into Power BI. See you in the next one.